What's up, guys? This is Ryan Johnson with moneybass.com. All right, and we are live, guys, back for another week. And as you guys come into the chat, just make sure you introduce yourselves. Just leave me a question, comment. Let's go ahead and get things started as people join in. All right, have a few people chiming in already. And let's see if you guys can hear me okay. Everything looks good, sounds good. Just give me a little bit of feedback in the chat. And as you guys saw, the title of this one today is Mega Live versus Mega 360. Which one will you choose? Should be an interesting topic for the day. I'm just going to let a few more guys come on into the live stream, and then we'll get started. So basically, we're just I'll be going over, just bringing up some footage, showing you guys some of my on the water footage of the Mega 360. Then we will go over the some footage from the Mega Live. And of course, I will be reading your questions, and you guys can get active and communicate back and forth with each other in the chat. As always, all right, we have Jonah Wilson already checking in. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support of the channel. All right, let's see what Jonah Wilson has to say. Jonah Wilson, Charles from way up north. All right, all right, all right. And we have a return subscriber, Mark Scott. Appreciate you coming back, supporting the channel. All right, let's see who else we have coming in. All right, Mark says, sounds great. All right, appreciate the sound check. All right, and we have that guy you know. Good evening, coach. All right, guys. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. But hey, we're kind of like a team here. There isn't really a coach. We're all just giving some input and getting things put together and getting along the best we can. All right, we have 362nd Campbell checking in. All right, I know you're out there getting ready for the BFL that's going to be coming up on Lake Sinclair. Good luck on that. Appreciate you supporting the channel. All right, guys, and as more people come into the live stream, just make sure you get active in the chat. I'm just pulling up, guys, just letting you know who's in here. Just saying hello to everybody before we get started. And once again, of course, you guys saw the title of this live stream. It is basically Mega Live versus Mega 360. Which one would you choose if you could only have one? And I also put out a poll. I'll bring that poll just bring that poll up and I'll read through that just to kind of give you guys the results of that. All right, we have Deshaun Peck is checking in. All right, what's up, guys? What's up? Really appreciate it. And I uploaded that clip of actually you and Mark Scott. Just did a little snippet from our last live stream. Put you guys up in that. All right, let's see. Jonah Wilson, I have both, and I think they work very well together. That is definitely true. That is definitely true. If you can have both of them, it is best to have both of them. All right, let's see who else we have coming in. We have Cowboy Jack, Eastern Iowa. All right, live for me. Let me see. Oh, live for me. I use my ultra built-in side scan as a poor man 360. Works well enough for me so far. Hey, gotta do what you gotta do to make things happen, right? All right, let's see who else we have here. We have Bob Askey, all right, coming in from Newburgh, Oregon. All right. And I'm way over here on the other side, way over on the East Coast in Georgia. So we have guys coming in from a little bit of everywhere. All right, Ed Scott. All right, appreciate you checking in. Appreciate you checking in. All right, and we have that guy you know. All right, so that guy you know already getting started with it. So we have, let me see, I have both 360 and Mega Live, but I would pick the 360 over Mega Live if you made me choose one. Uh-oh. So we got somebody with the 360. Okay, all right. So that 360. So just go ahead and put a comment down there. Let me know what it is that makes you choose that 360 over the Mega Live. What features or what functions? And also, do you fish for bass, crappie, walleye? What kind of fishing do you do? and just give us a little bit of input on that. And you guys that are already in the chat room, go ahead and chime in on that also. All right, guys, we're about 5 minutes in. Just give it a few more, maybe about 30 more seconds or so. Let a few more guys come in, and then we will go ahead and get started. All right. Oh, and actually, as you guys are coming in, please make sure you hit the like button. Always helps out the channel, and share this video. If there's some guys that you know that are interested in these topics, make sure you share these videos. The more people we get in here, the more information that we have coming in and we can share and just kind of help each other out a little bit more, guys. All right, so make sure you hit that like button, and let's go ahead and get started with things, guys. So Mega 360 or Mega Live, which one do you choose? So of course, the Mega 360 was out first, so a lot of guys were able to get very familiar with that first. And if you are a Humminbird guy, Garmin guy, or a Lowrance guy, we all have that live imaging now. But of course, that Garmin setup was out way before everybody else's, so you guys had a head start on us. And without us actually seeing what live imaging actually was in person, you can't really understand what is going on. But once you know, you definitely know, and you can't unsee what you have seen once you start using live imaging, guys. All right, so for me, I decided to go with the Mega Live system, and the main thing for me was I already had Humminbird set up on my boat, and I did not want to invest that extra in getting another screen when I could just get the transducer. So I kind of held off on that, and it was kind of tempting at times because being a tournament fisherman and you're seeing these other guys with this technology that you do not have, it's kind of tough going to the weigh-in when you know maybe they had something that gave you a little bit more of an edge. So, but for me, I just wanted to wait to make sure I just kept things kind of clean, as far as I already had 2 units on the front of my boat. I did not want to add a 3rd unit on the front of my boat. And I really wanted to have that one boat network, because with the live imaging, with the Mega Live, you can still set your waypoints and things like that, and it will share it across all of the units that are on your boat. So there was just some advantages if you already had your Humminbird system, to where going with the Mega Live worked out for me. But for this topic today, whether regardless of what type of live imaging setup that you have, is basically live imaging versus the Mega 360. Which one would you choose if you only had one? All right, so what I'm going to do, I'll read a few more of these comments, and then what I'll do is just pull up some footage and go through the footage of the Mega 360. Then we'll go with the Mega Live. And if any of you guys want to get active in the live stream like we did last time, I will drop the link so you guys can come on in and kind of express your opinion, and we can, just kind of go back and forth, see what things are making you choose the Mega Live or live imaging over the Mega 360. All right, so let's see who else we have that has hopped into the chat. All right, so Bob Askey says, mainly fish for salmon, summer steelhead and kokanee. All right, once in a while bass and trout. All right, so you have some of those kind of luxury type fish going on there. I wish we had some of those down here. I mean, the only place I can get some of that is in the store or in a restaurant. But all right, appreciate that. All right, Mark Scott, let's see. He says, I fished Sunday morning, spot locked off the tire reef I showed you. So what he's referring to is in one of the other live streams, we were discussing where we were kind of chatting back and forth on Instagram, helping him getting his unit dialed in. And he was actually sending me screenshots, and he had some nice screenshots and was actually able to catch some of the fish that he was sending on some of those screenshots. So he said, spot locked off the tire reef I showed you. Then let me see, scan back and forth with Mega Live and Live Scanner. When I saw fish, I stopped, cast it to them with a Ned rig, caught 12 bass. Wow. All right, so that is definitely results right there. That's Mega Live results right there. So I'm guessing that Mark Scott is going to say he's a Mega Live over a 360 guy, and I think he does have both on his boat also. All right, we have C219 Troll. What's up, money? What's up? Appreciate you coming back and supporting the channel, getting active in the live stream. All right. And who else do we have? Cowboy Jack says Mega Live for ice fishing. I still haven't used on open water. This week, I hope walleye, crappie, muskie, some bass, and smallmouth. Yeah, so you guys have that larger selection of some fish up there. Those walleye, we catch those a little bit down here, but not too often. All right. And we have Mark Scott. I would take 360 over live. Oh, that's kind of surprising. I was thinking you were going to go with the Mega Live system. All right. And we'll go ahead and read. Let me see just a few more real quick. We have Bob Askey. Humminbird replaced my G2N that I sent in for repair with a G4N. Same thing happened to me, and you gotta love that. Getting that G4N, because that allows you to go ahead and use that for your Mega Live system. I got the Mega Live being that I had a unit and that could use it. Right. Going to use Mega Live for trolling and anchor fishing. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. And we have Ivan coming in. I have a Mega 360 and absolutely love it. I just added a second graph to the bow and added a new LVS 34 live scope. Okay. And I think that is the upgraded live scope from Garmin, if I'm not mistaken. If so, go ahead and drop that in the comments. I mean, in the chat, and let us know. But I think that is the new transducer that they came out with. All right, so that guy says 36 Y360. I fish for bass and I fish a lot of TVA lakes like Pickwick. So 360 is great for finding cover and structure and current breaks, etc. I haven't missed rock piles or lay down since I installed it. That is definitely one of the advantages of having that 360. All right, let me just go ahead and read two more, then we'll get into this video and get things going, guys. All right, so we have Rob. I fish inshore North Carolina, waiting on my new bay boat to arrive. I have Mega 360 in the box in the garage. I went with 360 because seeing structure was more important to me than seeing the fish. But you can see that structure with the Mega Live. I have a few images I'll show you guys with that too. All right, and let's go ahead and read one more. We have 360-second Campbell. Hard choice. Live scope for suspended fish, 360 or perspective mode for an overall picture of the cover. All right, and I know that 360-second Campbell fished as a co-angler in one of those BFL events, and that boater had a live scope, and I think he went and purchased the live scope for his boat within that same week. So it definitely opened his eyes up to some things that he was not aware of prior to fishing with that guy that had the that live scope on the boat. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Basically, I'm going to play this and I'll just stop it on little intervals and just kind of explain some things. And also just keep an eye on the chat. See if you guys have anything that you want to chime in on after this. Then we can have a discussion, guys. I'll drop the link and you guys can hop on in. All right, let me go ahead and bring this up. And let's just walk through this, guys. Let me drop this down. All right, here we go, guys. All right, so I'm out here with another way that you can dial in your 360 imaging unit. As you can see, I'm over here with some rocks, nice group of rocks off to my left. And basically what I did is I came out to an area where I could physically see the rocks. Let me just head over that way real quick so you can see the rocks that I'm referring to. So I'm out. All right, let me just back that up real quick, just a little bit. All right, so on this picture right here, guys, obviously those are some nice images of rocks. You can see some big boulders, small boulders, and I'm sitting in about 12 feet, and those rocks are kind of shallow. But if you are a little deeper and you see rocks like that, they will still show up just as clear on that 360. And this will allow you to fish that structure. You see those rocks. Some people like that shaky head. Some people definitely like the crankbait. So it just allows you to take a look at that and see exactly what type of bait you need to use based on what you're seeing. As far as seeing the fish, it is possible to see the fish, but for me, using the 360, it's a little more difficult to see those fish because of the rotation of it. And if it's maybe just one or two fish over there, you can see them once you get honed in on it, but it is a little more difficult. 360 imaging unit. As you can see, I'm over here with some rocks, nice group of rocks off to my left. And basically what I did All right, just I came out to an area where I can physically see the rocks. Let me just head over that way real quick so you can see the rocks that I'm referring to. So I'm out here fishing shallow, but let me show you that right. All right, and so pay attention to this one, guys. A lot of people use the 360, but this is a feature that you can use that a lot of guys don't know about. It's just a little extra tip in here, something that may get some of you guys as far as that are on the Mega Live side to see that there are some other things that you can use this 360 for. And also, guys, the Patreon is a work in progress. It is now active. It is new, and I have been uploading footage there. So make sure you guys check out that Patreon. And it is basically going to be just a kind of a more in-depth area where we can have our private get-togethers, and we'll have private live streams and things like that. There's also a Discord that will be a forum and thread, so we can go in there and share information and things like that also, guys. So just keep that in consideration. But go ahead and let's take a look at this other feature of a way that you can use your Mega Live system. There's a bait ball, and then you can see all these fish under here. And how I actually located that was on this 360. I have it zoomed in, and you can see I'm around all of these bait fish. This is the boat, basically the outline of the boat right here. And you can see the bait fish, they were over here, now they're moved over to this side. And a way to track these fish a little faster whenever you're on a move. All right, and just let me say this. Just a second ago, you could actually see the fish that you're seeing over on the left on that sonar. Those fish were in the bottom left corner, maybe about 7 or 8 o'clock on that 360. So you can actually track those fish. They are actually swimming right under that bait ball. So you can, if you speed the chart speed up, or speed up the sweep speed on the 360, it'll kind of give you a better idea of the movement of those fish. But let's go ahead and keep taking a look at it. In school like this is go to menu and just increase your 360 speed, and that way it'll refresh a lot faster. But look at these fish under here. See, all right, there we go. So if you look at around 7 or 8 o'clock right there on that 360, you can see those same fish, and so you can tell that they are to the left of the boat, kind of to the back left end of where the boat is at, and you can see that on the 360 as it's updating. I'm out here and try to stay shallow and not pick up this drop shot, but it's just too much fun for me whenever I see the fish on here. And so you can see them, they were just over here, and let's see where they're at now. They're just basically moving. That's basically towards the back of the boat right here. This is just the 360 icon and does not represent the boat. That's just where the 360 is located. And now they've moved out of the range of the 360 right now. But basically that's a way for you to track some of those moving schools and things like that whenever you're using this 360. All right, let me finish flipping this lay down right here a little bit, then I'm going to move to that one. All right, so here we're going to get into the Mega Live portion. So those were just a few clips of the Mega 360. Another thing to keep in mind is, as far as seeing certain type of structure like ditches and things like that, you can definitely see that on the 360. So with the 360, some of the main types of cover and structure, you'll be able to see rocks, brush, laydowns, and submerged cover. You can fish boat docks with those very well, and it allows you to see the post and actually what's under those docks also. So if you like skipping docks or things like that, it can allow you to see which docks may be your high percentage docks. So that's just something to keep in mind. So now we're going to take a look at the Mega Live side of things. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, guys. All right, and I can just tell you what I'm doing. So I can see that pretty easily at 50 feet out. But now I'm just going to make a long cast, maybe 100 feet or so, and just see as I'm bringing it in, how far it'll be out before I can start seeing. All right, so what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm getting this dialed in for top water. So that is just a top water bait. And I'm just watching on the screen, and I can actually see that bait come into focus or come into the screen. So in the event where there's a suspended fish or anything like that, now this is the Mega Live. You can't do this on the Mega 360. but you can see that bait, how far out that is. You can set this out to about 100 feet or so, and you will still be able to see that lure if you want to target top water fish. And hey, that time is coming, guys. All right, here you go, guys. Using this 360, it is 12:20. So the midday update, well, kind of midday update. We have to be in at 3 o'clock. I'm fishing this ledge right here. You can actually see it on the on the Mega Live. All right, and so just this footage right here is from an actual tournament. So if you're familiar with reading the 360, if you look down here on that left-hand side, you can see that that area where it has a stronger return. It's kind of brighter. Those are actually rocks and hard bottom on that side. And I have the Mega Live turned directly in that area. So if you are familiar with how to kind of read whenever you're seeing rocks and things like that on that 360. So if you look where my finger is pointing right there on that Mega Live, that is actually some rocks right there. And you can kind of see the just kind of see the make out of the outline of those rocks in there. And it's something that you would just have to get familiar with time. Time on the water will allow you to do that. But this is using the Mega 360 and Mega Live both at the same time. That Mega Live, I'm sorry, the Mega 360, as you can see, lets you know exactly where that transition is from those rocks into that smooth bottom. And sometimes those fish will be sitting right in there, and that will allow you to line those casts up. But in the same regard, the Mega Live, if you look at where my fingers are pointing at, you know exactly where to drop that bait at, and you can actually watch that bait fall down whenever you're seeing those fish moving around on that Mega Live system. I have it pointing right over there at the ledge that I'm fishing, and you can see that line right there on the 360, and the Mega Live kind of confirms it, so I can pitch my bait right up to here. Just pitch my bait right up here. Whenever I see any type of structure up there or some type of cover, I'm seeing fish up there every once in a while. You can see some fish down here. I'm not really targeting those that are that deep. I'm trying to get these fish, what is that, in the 8 to 12 foot range. Right in here is where I'm catching my fish from. There's a fish right there. So some of these fish are suspended, but there's some down on the bottom. Right now, as you guys know, using my A1, my ace is my Shaky Head 7.2 medium heavy black ice. All right, guys, let's keep on working. See if we can cull out one of my smallest fish. All right, and this is some footage that if you are a long-term subscriber or you watch some of the other lives, this is some of the footage that I used whenever I was getting it dialed in immediately after that 1.150 update. You can see those fish marching in, headed straight towards the boat. I don't know, guys. Can you do that on that Mega 360? I don't think so. But hey, we'll get into that. Bait coming down right there. All right, so look at all of that fish activity. You can actually track those fish. Now they're getting directly under the boat. And there's some more fish coming in all the way, and that's about 65, 70 feet out where you can see those fish coming in. All right, so this footage right here, this is sonar and down scan. And what I was doing on here was just showing you guys that once you see, let me just pause this real quick. Once you see something like this, now those may be some striper, but on this lake, there are going to be bass mixed in with those striper also. These could just be a large school of bass just set up right behind that brush pile or that tree in the current, depending on what's going on the lake at the time. But whenever you see something like this and you pull off of this, yes, you will be able to see that brush pile on that Mega 360. Sometimes it may be hard to kind of make out that brush pile depending on how long it's been there and the way that it's just the structure of it itself. Sometimes it blends in and it makes it a little harder to see on that Mega 360. But with that Mega Live, you are definitely going to see these fish, and you will see that that brush pile or that tree right there. And this will allow you to just pull off maybe 40, 50, 60 feet off of those fish and cast whatever bait that you need into those fish. And without really being detected, so you don't have to get directly over those fish. So that to me is another advantage of that Mega Live system. But that's what I wanted to show you in this clip right here, was just whenever you see these fish here, you can pull out that Mega Live system and kind of get dialed in. And also right here, let me see, I'll point over to the right in just a second. Right there, you can see those are fish down on the bottom. It doesn't look like there's any type of particular cover or anything down there. Hold on 1 second. So it did not look like there was any type of particular cover or anything they were relating to. It may have just been that drop that those fish were relating to down on the bottom. But with that Mega Live system, those fish, even though they're moving around subtly on the bottom, you can still pick those fish off. And I mean, for me, it's great. I love it, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this other clip. And this is just showing you just tracking a few of the baits with the Mega Live system. Here we go. I cast that one out past 65 feet, so I had to wait for it to come back in range. And just look on both screens. On the one down on the bottom, that is the 10-inch helix, and it's just on a different color palette. But in this situation, it just seems like that one had a better pop. It had a brighter return than the one on the top, which is the 12. The 12 was on the top. All right, guys, are any of you Mega 360 guys changing your mind? Are any of you Mega Live guys changing your mind, or live imaging guys changing your mind? What do you think about that? Look at that fish down on the bottom. See that big fish down there, guys? All right, and just watch that bait as that bait is tracking straight back to the boat. I just casted that bait out and reeling it in. All right, we have quite a few more guys that have joined in. Really appreciate you guys joining in and supporting the channel. Make sure you hop into the chat, introduce yourselves. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead and get those in there. And I will be dropping the link shortly, guys, so you guys can come up, let me know your experience. Let me know what you think, Mega Live or Mega 360. Well, live imaging or the Mega 360. All right, so look at that bait right there, guys. I was able to drop that down, watch it go all the way down there. There are actually some fish right there on that drop. Some of them will come up, take a look at it, and swim away. You can fish down there, so I'm gonna let it drop down. There we go. But that just gives you an idea of how you can actually guide your bait directly to where you want it to go. Just change up your retrieve, try to get it to stay down there a little longer. But basically, that's all that was, guys. We're just showing you guys the just how that can actually look on that live system, tracking your bait. And this right here is another, just showing you a combination of that Mega Live and the 360. So with the 360, I'm able to see the cover or whatever, or structure that I'm actually casting to kind of help me get my cast dialed in and get the... All right, there's my bait. And the fish is sitting right here. Let me pause this for a second. All right, so this right here, guys, this, when I was out on the water and I saw this was very, very impressive to me, and what you can do with that Mega Live system. So with this ditch that you're about to see here, you can actually see this on the Mega 360 also. But the added advantage to the Mega Live system is obviously you will be able to see the fish moving around. So I'm going to let this one play out, and then then I think this is the last clip, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let me know what you guys think. Let me see you down in the chat, guys. What do you guys think about this?
Fish swimming over to it now, sitting right at the top of the ledge of this ditch. See the definition of that ditch, guys? So in 25 feet, and it drops down to about 35. I have it on spot lock, but I kind of position the boat to where it'll keep me lined up, even with the current and the wind kind of pushing me. All right, there we go. Another good one. Ah, got me. All right, looking on the sonar, there's a big fish just hovering right down there. I can see him on the Mega Live up here also. Let's see if I can pull that one out of there. All right, I'm fishing this right here. Those are some fish suspended over this little hump. Some type of brush pile or something's down there right next to this ditch. So I would call that a high percentage area, guys. I saw the fish follow it down. Let's see if one of those fish will take it. All right, there goes the tap. And there goes the fish. All right, how about that, guys? How about that? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Gotta
Feels
love
like this
that.
is a good one.
Gotta love that, guys.
Come back over here. Oh, shoot. You guys see that? Tried to flip him, but my drag isn't set too good. There we go. It's another nice fish. All right, there we go, guys. Got another one. Ooh.
All right, guys, there we go. So that is the video clip. Obviously, you know, it looks like I had a little bit more in there with the Mega Live footage. I didn't have enough time to go through and get more of my the Mega 360 footage. But let me go ahead and drop this link. Let's see. Make sure I get this right. I'm gonna drop this link in here for you guys, so you can come up, and I will actually go ahead and pull up this. Let me copy this real quick. All right, so I'm dropping this link in the chat. So once you click on the link, you have to close out anything else that's playing YouTube, or it will have an echo. So you have to close out the screen once you come into the live stream. All right, so I just dropped the link in there, guys. If any of you guys are interested in coming up, I definitely want to hear your thoughts and what you think. Mega Live, Mega 360. And let me just read this poll real quick, then I will start go through a few more of the comments in the chat room. Come on, guys. Let's see who wants to come up and have a quick chit chat, see what you guys have to say. So the poll that I put out, it basically says, in preparation for tomorrow's live stream, answer this question: Mega Live versus Mega 360. You can only choose one. And I have the subscribers can call in. All right. And so what we have, the results: Mega Live, 65%. We have Mega 360 was at 29%. And I threw in another option in here for you guys that know Randy Blockett and Johnny from Fish the Moment. You know how Randy feels about electronics, live scope, live imaging, especially. But the third option was, let me just read them again real quick. So the first one is you can choose Mega Live. Second one, Mega 360. That was at 29%. And then neither. I have skills like Randy Blockett. 6% of the guys have skills like Randy Blockett, so they don't even need electronics. I don't know if I have those type of skills, guys. Got to use my electronics. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, so let me go through here and read some more of these questions. All right, guys, the link is in the chat. If you guys see that link, just give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes, I see the link, just to make sure that it is in there for you guys to be able to see it. And let me scroll up to see who else we have that has come into the chat. All right, hard choice. All right, so let's start right here. So we have Ivan. He is responding back to the question that I asked earlier about he has the new live scope transducer. Didn't know that was out, but hey, I know a lot of guys are going to appreciate that and have to make that decision. Do you stick with the old or sell that one and head for the new technology? All right, so we have that guy. Let's see what you have to say. Unfortunately, I knocked my Mega Live off of the bracket, but Humminbird replaced it free of charge, and I had a new Mega Live transducer and bracket back on my boat 7 days after breaking it off. Great service, Humminbird. Yes, I have always had great customer service from Humminbird. I've called them when I was on the water, called them during tournaments, called them at home, just whenever. And I've always had them. They always answer my questions. I've never had a time where I called and they weren't able to help me out. And even when I had a system that wasn't working right, sending in for service, they took care of it right away and made sure I was tournament ready. All right, so let's see who we have next. Mark Scott, let's see what you have to say. Both of them together is an amazing combination. I couldn't imagine going without either. But if I had to pick one, 360 all the way. I fish offshore. I want to see around me at a glance. I can understand that. But you guys know, I used to be the 360 guy. And once I fished Eufaula last year was going to be, and let me just tell you guys this quick story about that. So my thing was, I was watching everybody that had the live scope and seeing those guys come to the scales, even though I was still, in contention a lot of times. It was just knowing that they had that advantage that I didn't have. And I was like, man. And then we were headed to Eufaula. And I don't know if you guys know about what is it? With Mark Daniels and Jacob Wheeler and DC, those guys, they were out there killing those fish on Eufaula with that jerk bait and that live imaging. And I was like, man, we're going out there. I might have to go ahead and switch up and get that live scope. But this is what I decided to do, guys. I was like, I'm going to use this Mega 360 and I'm going to see if I can compete with these guys that already have live imaging and I don't have it. So for me, what I had to do in order to compete with them, I knew I was going to have to put in extra time on the water, less fishing, and just focus on the task at hand, which is locating those fish using my sonar, down scan, side scan, and that 360 to hone in on those brush piles. And that's exactly what I did, guys. I went out there. I had 15 pounds on my practice day. I know a lot of times you don't want to stick those fish, but I was just sticking one and moving. So I knew I found a good pattern, guys. I had 15 pounds on my practice day. Tournament day one, I was leading with 17.74. Day two, it was tough for everybody, but I was still able to bring in, I think, around 11 something pounds, something like that. So once that happened, I was like, hey, I'll be able to hold out and wait for Humminbird to come in, because they just kept pushing the date back and back. But I knew those guys were working and we were dealing with that shortage. So I was like, hey, I'll hang in there, because this Mega 360 is still able to get me to accomplish what I'm out here to accomplish. All right, so let me go ahead and look at a few more of these. Let's see who we have. Mark Scott, did I already read this one? Yep, I already read that one. All right, and we have a special guest, Michael Jenkins. All right, appreciate you stopping by. What's up, Money Bass? All right, appreciate it. All right, and he is checking in from Charlotte, North Carolina. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I think he might know how to catch a catfish or two, something like that. All right, let's see. We have that guy, Mega Live seems to need more adjustments than 360 if you move to a different water clarity and or different particulates on the water. Um, yeah, I would agree with that, because with the Mega 360, as long as you can see that structure or cover, you don't really need that definition of being able to differentiate between the fish and the cover or whatever that you're fishing. As long as you want to, with that Mega Live, you do want to get it dialed in enough to be able to see those fish moving around, things like that. But with the Mega 360, yeah, I would agree with that you can pretty much set it and you don't really have to make too much adjustments and things like that on there. All right, and let's see who else we have. All right, we have Chauncey Davis checking in, long time subscriber, very loyal subscriber. I really appreciate you. And yeah, pretty much every time we're on the live stream, he's at work checking in from the OR at Emory. Appreciate that work you're doing over there. Hard to work, but I choose the Mega Live. All right. All right. We got another Mega Live. Let's see who else we have. All right. We have somebody in the back. I'll pull you up in just a second. Just make sure that your YouTube is off so that we don't get that echo, but we can do a sound check as soon as I pull you up. We have Darren Pearson checking in. Keep up the good work, Ryan. All right. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. We're going to be out at Lake West Point this weekend. Are you going to be there, Pearson? I know that's your lake. I know you lost about 5 or 6 5-pounders and 8-pounders on that lake. I know that's your lake, but we'll get out there and see what we can do. All right, and we have Faith and Fishing. Yo, I'm here. Sorry, I'm late. Just got off. Hey, got to do what we got to do. Have to put in that time on the job. All right, and we have Texas Noop 2010. What's up, Money? What's going on? Appreciate you joining in. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up that guy you know. All right. How are
Hello.
you doing? How are you doing? All right. I can hear you good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. So, yeah, I think your argument is very, very convincing. The more you show how dialed in you have Mega Live, so that thing,
Gotcha.
you've really got it dialed in. I know one thing that I see is that on Mega Live, I mean on 360, I just sit it and forget it. And
Gotcha.
sometimes Mega Live, depending on the cove I'm in or the area of the lake I'm in, sometimes I'm spending a lot of time dialing the settings. So I'm still on the 360 as number
Gotcha.
one, but boy, Mega Live's a close second, and you're working on changing my mind every day.
Yeah. I mean, believe me, what you are saying, I was diehard Mega 360. Even when the guys that I was competing against had live scope, I was like, hey, I can still beat you, this and that. But do you have Mega Live?
I have both. Yeah.
Okay, so you do have both. For
Yeah.
me, until I actually saw what it does for myself, I did not understand what they were trying to explain to me until I actually saw it. But once I saw it, it started changing over for me really fast because I knew the capabilities of 360. I was real good with the 360. But once I saw that Mega Live, and the more that I used it, and I saw that I can still locate and see things on the 360. And I do have a video where I show how you can set up that Mega 360s by just using the boat ramp and the curb and just the different pieces of structure that you see at the ramp itself. Once I was able to kind of compare those two and go, and I would see something on that 360, so I would know for sure what I'm looking at, and then I could point that Mega Live at it, and I can see, even though it's hard to tell on there, but once your eyes are in tune with being able to locate that structure or rocks or whatever, you can go straight down a cove, and as you're going down that cove, just take your foot off of the the power on the trolling motor, and as the boat is coasting, just scan. All you're doing is just you're not on there. So that if you're as you're turning, it's making the boat swing back and forth. You're just going straight, but with no foot. The foot isn't on the power, but you're just scanning that thing. You can scan it all the way around if you want. But with that Mega Live, as soon as you see that blip on the screen, you know that that is something there. You follow what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like you can still have that capability. But I can believe me, I understand about the ease of that 360 already doing that work for you.
yeah. And I think about I've gotten, caught in some high winds and current and all of those, and Mega Live on the trolling motor itself. Sometimes, I've had a little bit of an issue, right? Trying to put spot lock on
Oh
and
yeah,
keep it pointed in the right direction. So
definitely, definitely. And in one of those clips, I kind of showed that where it was kind of scanning around. But what I found is you can line the boat up to where whichever way the current is kind of or the wind is pushing you,
yeah,
whenever that spot lock is on and it's moving, all you need as soon as it points where that structure or cover is that you need to cast to, when it's scanning back and forth, as soon as you see it point in the area that you need. But if you have the 360, you don't even have to wait for that. You already have a waypoint there. You already know where to cast to.
sure.
But without it, you would still be able to, as it's sweeping back and forth with the Mega Live on the trolling motor, you would still be able to get that cast out there and hit that target.
I guess
But
I'm gonna change my vote to both.
all right,
Both.
so
There's no
look,
option.
so you're doing the trans. That was my transition. I was 360, then I eased on over to both, and then I was like, man, if I had to pick one, and the guys that used to hear me talk about that 360 all the time, they were surprised when I told them. I was like, yeah, man, I have to go with that live imaging over the 360 if I only had one, because now with the amount of time that I have spent with it, I know that I can get it to. I would say if the what the Mega 360 does is at 100% of what it does, I can get that Mega Live, I would say close to around that 90% of being able to do all of the same things once I'm able to, like I said, have my eyes tuned in to where I can see what that cover looks like, what ditches look like, what all of those different things that you can see with the Mega 360. Yeah, so it's a good deal.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, so do you have any other questions, comments, or anything?
No, I'm good. I
All right.
appreciate the
Well, hey,
information
I
though. You really
appreciate finally seeing the face to go with the name. I
had fun.
appreciate you supporting the channel. It's having a good time, guys.
Yeah, enjoyed
All
it.
right. All right.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. All right, guys. So there we go. We have somebody that is kind of changing the mind a little bit. But hey, this really isn't about changing your mind or whatever. It's just to kind of share different perspectives. So everybody, can put your input in there. And maybe it's something that you didn't see and that you haven't seen or haven't thought of before. And it just kind of opens your eyes up. So maybe you are like, hey, the 360 is what, is the thing that is for me. But maybe you will see something that kind of clicks in your head and you're like, well, hey, I see how definitely having both of them is a good thing, but maybe one over the other that I did not think that it had this capability before, but now I see that it does. All right, let me read a few more of these. We don't have anybody else coming to the back. If anybody else, let me go ahead and drop that link one more time. See if that'll pop up there for you guys. If anybody else wants to come up, just go ahead and click that button. Make sure you turn your YouTube off, the live stream off, and just I'll be able to pull you up without any type of background noise. All right, let's see who else we have. Let's start. All right, that guy, you had another question on here. Have you started using a mask? I have one, but haven't installed it yet. So I do have the mask, and I can definitely see what it is used for, because whenever I'm tracking fish or even tracking my lures, sometimes I can see that double image. And I think that will eliminate that double image. So now that I have used it long enough without using the mask, and I know exactly what I'm seeing on the screen, I can put that mask on there, and if it does eliminate or change anything to where I notice that I'm not seeing as much as I was before, then I will know the difference now. All right. And we have Darren Pearson. Let's see what Darren Pearson has to say. Mega Live for me all day. I know he's going to go with the Mega Live. I don't know how familiar you guys are with Lake Lanier, but he caught a 7+ pounder using his Mega Live on Lake Lanier. He had a 7-something and a few threes. I mean, he had a real nice day. And he told me he saw every one of those fish on that Mega Live. So I definitely know he is a believer in using that live imaging. All right. And we have somebody else that is hopped up in the back. Let me read 2 more of these messages real quick. And then we will pull up 360-second Campbell. All right. So we have Ed Scott. If you have the money, just get both. Definitely. Hey, I definitely agree with that. Can't do without 360 though. Nice to see structure without needing to scan around. Yes, that is a definite advantage to having that 360. Less work and you can see, see the structure and everything. But that little bit of extra work to be able to see the fish, I gotta have it. Gotta have it. All right, let me read one more real quick. All right, that guy, your argument is very convincing for Mega Live, but I haven't changed my mind yet. You have it dialed in very well. All right, let me go ahead and bring up 360-second Campbell. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, Money Bus, how you doing, man?
All right, doing pretty good, pretty good. All right, you sound good, sound good. So how's everything going?
Man, it's going pretty good. I was actually out on the lake today.
Okay.
When I was talking to you earlier, I was traveling back, trying to drive and text with the boat. Wasn't very well.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so you're out there on Lanier?
Yeah.
Okay, guy. How'd you do out there today?
Oh, I got my butt handed to me today. It was ugly.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. Were you out offshore fishing shallow? What were you doing out there?
Man, I went shallow. I was hoping to find some spawners, and I think I'm a little late. I think it's already happened, man. It's either hasn't happened or it's already happened.
I think it's a little bit of both from what I've been hearing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All I found was some little dinks here and there. Some garden, some froth, things like that. But I devoted my day to it, man. I flipped and pitched every piece of cover that I could find mid-lake.
Gotcha.
Man. I covered miles of shoreline. I probably made 500 pitches to 1,000 easy.
So what's going on? I know you're a crankbait. Crankbait guy. You didn't pick that up a little bit?
No, I didn't, and I kicked myself for not doing it, man. I really dedicated. I dedicated to the shallow bite. Preparing for the bell on Sinclair. I'm kind of expecting more of a shallow game there.
Gotcha.
So I was using it a little bit as a kind of quasi practice, kind of hoping that they would be spawning. But yeah, I should have stayed offshore.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying though. Getting prepared for, because Sinclair is gonna be a shallow water, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna be on like brush and be shallow and stuff on Sinclair.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of practice at that. Got a lot of practice at that today.
Yeah, so you didn't really need to catch fish today. You're just getting your gear and everything set up. That's all you were doing today. It wasn't about catching fish.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. But you know what I did do? It was kind of interesting going to this argument of your whole videos. I actually used the perspective mode today.
Okay.
With the live scope.
Yeah.
Since of course, I don't run a Humminbird, so I don't have 360, but I do have the perspective mode with the live scope.
Right.
And since I had dedicated to stay shallow, I put it in perspective mode and pretty much kept it there and worked with it. And it was kind of interesting because I liked, I think it's was it 145 field of view versus 20 when you're using perspective versus the normal live. I did like getting the additional information, so I could see a brush pile, for example, or see part of the brush, but in the perspective I could see the whole thing versus being a normal live scope, you can only see a portion of it.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Now what I do in the shallow water game that I was doing today, the perspective mode works great, which would kind of be like the 360.
Right.
What I really like about the live versus say, the 360 or the perspective is being that I like moving baits, crankbait, swim baits, things like that.
Yeah.
What I was really missing was being able to see the water column, right? Being able to see whether the fish were shallow, mid, or on the bottom.
Right.
Now we know the live scope has a shortcoming whenever fish are, tucked tight to the bottom. You can't see them. Which sucks because you're kind of casting blind, thinking there's nothing there, even when there's, brush.
Right.
But for using crankbaits, swim baits, things of that nature, man, I can't live without my live scope. I got to have that water column there counting down. No.
With that, so it's called perspective mode, right? That's what it's called. Okay, so were you able to actually see the fish movement and everything when you were doing that?
Yes. Matter of fact, the fish, it almost looks like It almost looks like side scan. You can see the fish better. You can see them clear, but they cast a shadow like they would in side scan, which was kind of interesting. So I could tell when they were up off the bottom because of the shadow.
Gotcha.
But what I
Okay.
couldn't tell, for example, is if I was in, let's say I was in 8 feet of water, what I
Right.
couldn't tell was if those fish were, a foot off the bottom or if they were
Right.
right at the top of the water column.
But
So,
that's actually an interesting point because I did not include that in the discussion that you can actually use that live and switch that thing around and put it in perspective mode or landscape mode or yeah. Yeah, so
yeah,
that's
landscape
definitely
mode perspective. Garmin calls it perspective, but
right. Yeah, and
yeah.
I think it's Scout for Lowrance and landscape for Humminbird. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's definitely a thing that I could have added to the whole, 360 versus live because
Yeah,
that perspective mode, yeah, that's definitely a nice thing.
I found it very good for eliminating some water. There
Hmm.
was a couple flats that I got on where they were pretty expensive. Well, expensive for linear terms, anyways. And that little 20-degree window swinging back and forth with
Right.
the trolling motor where
Yeah.
you can scan. I found with it in perspective mode, I could cover that flat way quicker visually to see if there
Right.
was any kind of additional cover on it versus the scanning back and forth.
Yeah, I have a video on dialing that in, but I haven't actually went out and used it like that yet. But I definitely need to get out there and do that because yeah, that could be add another dimension to this whole thing to where hmm,
Yeah, I
hmm.
think if you're gonna, it worked for me because I dedicated my day to shallow. That was
Right.
my pattern. It didn't work out for me. Um, but if I was going to, yeah, I mean, you could jump back and forth. You could change it, but usually I'm kind of like, if
Right.
I'm offshore, I'm offshore. If I'm shallow, I'm shallow.
Right. Yeah,
Bounce back and
exactly.
forth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
having it in perspective, it was because I was like, you know what, I'm going shallow. I'm not really expecting fish to be suspended, so I'm not going to be searching for them and looking for them the same way that I normally would. Uh,
Right.
you know, I
Gotcha.
probably should have because the guys that I fished with today came in with some nice sacks, and I wasn't one of them.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
uh,
Oh, and just let me tell the guys this. So 360-second Campbell, this is the guy that I was telling you about that he fished as a co-angler with someone that had live imaging on their boat. And did you call me that? Was it like within a day or two? It could have been the same day. I can't remember how much it was after that tournament. But you went and bought yours like within what, a week, 2 weeks, and went ahead and put live imaging on your boat.
yeah, I think I bought it within the week after I witnessed what I witnessed. I was
Gotcha.
no, yeah. There was there's no way. I mean, I've been
Yeah, man.
fishing
So it's
there for
definitely a
years.
plus or anything.
What's that?
Oh, it kind of cut out for a quick second. Go ahead and finish what were you saying?
I was saying that after what I witnessed, there was no way that I could, after fishing Lanier for as long as I fished it, and then what I witnessed, yeah, there was no way being in the tournament circuit that I could continue to be, remotely dream of being competitive because, yeah, it just seeing the
Right.
efficiency, seeing things that I didn't even know were in the lake. And the big selling point, in all honesty, was I've never seen so many 4 and 4.5 pound freaking spotted bass thrown in my lap in one day. It was ridiculous. I got to work out of
Right.
my arm to net
Yeah.
fish. It's
Yeah.
just, it was
I want to
ridiculous.
get to that point. That's kind of where I want to get to that point too.
Yeah, you and me both. You and me both. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was that was an eye opening experience for sure. After that, I knew without a doubt I had to get it because Now the thing is that
definitely.
it's kind of funny. I won big fish for my club last year, and it was actually the first fish I caught on
Okay.
live scope. So I saw a
Wow. Oh, I
block.
I, I think you told me about that. Yeah, you told me
Yep.
about that. I remember that. Gotcha.
Saw a blob, threw a lure to it, boom, hooked up. I'm like, wow. Ended up being just shy of 7 pounds. So
What
it was
was
like,
that?
wow,
What was
okay.
that on? That was Oconee. Was that Oconee?
Yeah, it was on Cody.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Uh,
there's definitely, I would say there's advantages for both. I do like the idea of a 360. I like the idea of having all that information available,
right.
especially if you're, a place like, I don't really know how good it would be on a place like Lanier because Lanier being, really deep and structure oriented
Right.
versus a place like, say, Eufaula, that's a little
Oh
shallower,
yeah,
has large
definitely.
expansive flats. I mean, you can
Yeah,
cover some water and eliminate some water quickly using a 360 in that type of environment. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
definitely see
Yep.
that. So, so
Well, all
good.
right, man. I really appreciate you coming up and supporting the channel.
Yes, sir, man. I'm
Yeah.
surprised at your reach. I shouldn't be, but I was, man. I see people coming in from all over the place in the
Oh
comments.
yeah.
I'm like, wow, look at you, man, reaching out.
Well, look, whenever I see stuff from like Australia and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, okay, it's a little different in Canada. So yeah, yeah, it's surprising.
Yeah, I know you got offshore guys tuning in and all kinds of neat stuff.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
it's
I definitely appreciate the support.
I'm about to get you out there on Lanier since I know you live right there at it. We're going to have to hook up and get out there. You're going to show me how you use your stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep. So getting out there, just been, man, just been so busy lately. Haven't had a chance to get out there in a while, but I'll be at West Point this weekend, so maybe next week I'll be able to ease back out there to Lanier and start getting some more footage for everybody.
There you go. Oh, it was beautiful today. 41 degrees, 15-mile-per-hour winds.
Oh, okay. Hey, there you go. There you go. Sounds like a fun day.
All right, man.
Well, all right.
Good
All right.
talking
I
to you.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
See you.
All right. All right, guys. All right. Appreciate this the support for the channel. Let's see who else we have. Let's go through a few more of these comments. All right, let me see. I think this may have been my last one. Let's pull this one up. Your argument is very convincing. You have it dialed in very well. Yes, that was that guy you know. All right, so we are at Barry. Let's see what you have to say. Southwest Louisiana here. All right, all right. We have some other guys that are subscribers and are joining in the chat sometimes that are from Louisiana. I've got both. They both have their advantages. They are tools just like the different lures you use. Toledo Bend, bound in the morning. All right. Hey, check back in. Come back and leave a comment. Let us know how you do out there. And good luck on the lake. All right. We have 360-second Campbell, the epic slow mode boat. Yeah, slow mo boat flip. Yeah, gotta add that in there. Just add a little something every once in a while. Make it look a little more exciting. All right. And we have Barry checking in again. That the guy you know. Appreciate it. Mark Scott, I see the link. All right. Appreciate that. 367. Randy is, come on, man. Randy's the guy. Randy's the guy. I like Randy's channel. He has a lot of good insight to things and always has something you can kind of debate back and forth about. It's kind of fun. I like Randy Blockett's channel. All right. And we have Ivan. I love you using the 360 for structure and weed lines. That's right. Let's see, but with both, I think it would be a great combination once I get to understanding live scope and using them together. Definitely. Once you use both of these together, I mean, it just opens up so much that it, yeah, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like whenever someone doesn't have live imaging yet, and then once they get it and they actually see what they've been missing the whole time. All right, let's see who else we have. We have Dimitri. Let's see. Well, definitely be live would definitely be my next investment all the way from LA, Low Alabama. Oh, okay, gotcha. Almost got me on that one. Got an opportunity to actually see both of them in action at Cherokee during the opens. Really cool. There you go. There you go. Appreciate it. Appreciate that comment. All right, we have Darren Pearson. Well, to me, Mega Live can see deeper structure better than 30 feet or more. Yep. Yep. That Mega Live is definitely doing its thing. All right. Who do we have here? We have William. Okay, money. So I'm going to get both, but which one should I get first? This one this year and one the next. So this is what I have to say about this question because I've thought about this. If I did not have either one, for me knowing what I know now, it would be hard for me to buy Mega 360 because I know the capabilities of Mega Live. If I was to buy Mega Live first, I may not have even bought the 360 afterwards. So that's kind of a hard thing. It's kind of a hard one for me. But I would say you need both, but get Mega Live immediately. That would be my suggestion. And then follow that up with the Mega 360. That's just me. What do you guys think? Let some of you guys answer that down in the chat. Some of you guys that have both. Which one would you get first, knowing what you know by having both of those? All right, let's see who else we have. We have Sean Hopewell checking in. I know I know people that have pulled out 2 spots over 5 last week. And I'm thinking that you're talking about on Lake Lanier. Yes, they definitely have some 5 and 6 pound spotted bass. Those are some good ones. My PB, my personal best on Lake Lanier, I'd say is that 445. I have that on. That's some footage on catching that one. So I would say that that was my best on there. Yep. Okay. Sean says that is Lake Lanier. All right. And we have C219 Troll. Great info, Campbell. All right. Telling some good secrets about that perspective. Please delete. Exactly. That was the same thing I was thinking when he was saying. I was like, man, you know what? I did not think about that. So, hey, guys, I might have to snip this out of there. And maybe this will just be for you guys. That'll just be our secret in here about this perspective mode, scout mode, or the landscape mode. You know, that extra information that you can get from that. All right, let's see. We have Byron Jeffries. What up, fellas? Coming from Greenville, South Carolina, one-on-one fishing club. All right, I think I have heard of that before. Did you hit me in my Instagram or in the comments or something before? I think we may have talked before. All right, let's see. Byron Jeffries also says fish BFL as a co-angler, and it is deadly. All right, we'll be equipping my boat with the Rant Active Target really soon. Yeah, guys. Yeah, once you know, you can't unknow what you know. You can't unsee what you see once you have seen what you saw on the lake. All right. Byron Jeffrey says, one big question I've had mixed answers for. How effective is live imaging for dock fishing? That's another one of those things, Byron. I would say it's very, very effective for dock fishing. One of my subscribers, Joshua B. Fishing. If you go and check out his channel, I can't remember the video, but it's one of his recent videos where he's actually showing he's using it to punch mats. He is able to see. Obviously, he can visually look and see the top of the mat, but he is looking on his screen and seeing the fish beneath the mat. So just think of the fish in the dock in the same way. You'll be able to see those fish underneath the docks. I know from experience with that one. So I would say it is very effective at fishing docks. All right, we have that guy, love me some Randy Blockett, but he needs to be more open-minded. Sometimes that's part of the fun. Sometimes that's part of the fun, guys. I like Randy's channel too. All right. Texas Nuke 2010. I like the Mega 360, maybe because it helped me catch a nice 5-pounder from a friend's boat. There you go. There you go. All right. And we have, who is the CLCL? How does Mega Live work in deep water? I walleye fish in 30 feet deep from Ontario, Canada. Hey, that's my ballpark. I pretty much fish offshore. Most of the fish that I'm catching are going to be anywhere from, I would say, 15 feet all the way out to 50 feet or so. Sometimes I'll see fish deeper than that, but it's definitely, I would say, more people, like when it comes to the Mega 360 versus Mega Live, or live imaging versus Mega 360, more of the shallow water guys are going to pick that 360 from my experience, just from hearing people's responses and the reason why they're picking the 360 over the live. But offshore, to me, it's no question you want to go with the Mega Live with that. But that 360 is still effective, especially whenever you use both of those in combination. So offshore with both of those is a great thing also. All right, and let's see. We have been on for a little over an hour, and we are winding down. Nobody is in the back. All right, we have Deshaun Peck. Let's see what Deshaun has to say. Depends on your lifestyle of on your style of fishing, on which one you decide to buy first, and lakes that you primarily fish. Offshore structure equals 360 for me. What Texas Noob said above. Offshore structure 360 for me. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But the thing is, you can still see that offshore structure with the 360, especially if you have already gone and you scanned it first. If you scan that with your side scan and sonar, you have already seen the rocks or whatever type of structure is down there. You've already thrown your waypoint on it. So once you pull around and you point that mega live over there and you see fish, it's golden. Point that mega live over there and all you see is some rocks. Do you really want to fish it? That's kind of the way I see it, guys. But hey, this has been fun. Let's see. Has anybody else hopped in? Let's see who else we have. Ivan. Ivan says, when I added my live scope, I was hesitant to adding it to my Ultrex because of losing spot lock when you use live scope. Does it benefit getting a pole like right height if you bass fish? So I think a lot of guys do get that extra pole. For me, I have not used it, so I can't really speak on if I've gone from one to the other and how I like them in comparison. But not using the other one, of course, I'm gonna say for right now, I like using it on the trolling motor because I can keep both of my hands free. But I know one of them, you do have that foot pedal, but some people use it with some type of lever or something that you can turn. But being able to have both of my hands free, the immediate reaction and being able to move it around on the trolling motor. And like I was explaining before, I still use my spot lock. So if you look back at the beginning of this, if you didn't see, there was a clip in there where you can see the trolling motor still moving back and forth. And if you look on the screen, you can actually see the cover that I'm fishing as it's panning back and forth, just keeping it in place. Once that arrow points in the direction where that cover is, you just cast straight in that direction. So for me, without using that, but if any of the guys in the chat have that separate poll, go ahead and reply back and just answer that question for him and let him know what you guys think. All right. And we have that guy, have you tried any of the various transducer angles in forward mode? Yes, I did. At one point, I was making different adjustments. And in that clip that I showed a little earlier, where I was getting everything set up to fish top water, I did kind of adjust it to where I could see up a little bit farther and down. I was kind of moving it like that. But for me, I just put it on that second click on the forward facing mode. And that's been working out fine for me. All right, so we have CLCL. Off topic, how fast is your boat? That is a very interesting question. I guess you must have saw one of those videos I made where I'm running either Eufaula or Gunnersville, I think is the other lake. But it'll run in the low 70s. And my prop has some dings in it. So right now, and I have the hydraulic jack plate, and I always keep it trimmed all the way, the jack plate all the way down, which I've been told that I'm not running it at at the highest efficiency that I could by doing that. So maybe I'll spend a little time kind of tweaking that and seeing if I can get a little more speed out of it. But right now, as long as I can hit 70 plus, something like that, I mean, I'm pretty good. But maybe I'll play around with it and see how much faster I can get out of there. But man, those gas prices. I don't know if I really want to be burning gas up like that. All right, so we have Mark Scott. I have a live scanner with a separate foot pedal. Only way to go. All right, so there we go. Who was that asked that question? Ivan. There you go, Ivan. Mark Scott says it's the only way to go for him. So without me using it, I don't really know what I'm missing right now. So if I was to use it, then maybe it'd be hard to go back to not using it again. But yes, we have Mark Scott. So maybe Mark, after this video is over, if you can put down in the comments, or maybe you can just type it in the chat real quick about how fast does it move and things like that, as far as being able to scan. And my other thing is, in like a tournament situation, how well would it work in a tournament situation? Whenever you have to scan around, or you're going to be moving around a lot. Maybe you're fishing the bank, throwing a crankbait, something like that. How effective is it when you're doing something like that? All right, we have C219 troll. I use the pole, but only crappie fish, so I spot lock a lot. Exactly. That is exactly what I was thinking. So if you are using it for something where you're going to be stationary, or you're fishing a brush pal or something like that, then to me, I can see how that would be highly effective in that, from that standpoint. All right, let's see. As you spot like a lot. I want to see fish at all times and judge my lure speed by fish reaction. Every fish counts, and I don't want to miss that 3-pounder. There you go. There you go. All right, and we have one more here. We have Cowboy Jack. I have Ultra trolling motor and spot lock a lot, so I decided to use the summit pole, same summit pole for ice fishing. All right, yeah. So that is an alternative that some guys have had to use depending on the type of setup that they have with your trolling motor. All right, and we have somebody else just put another one down here. Mark Scott, you can control the speed of it however fast you want to scan. All right, so there you go. So sounds like it's something that you might want to look into. I don't know what the pricing is, but guys, I mean, fishing gets kind of expensive, doesn't it? All of this just to catch that fish. But hey, gotta love it. Gotta love it, guys. All right, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting the channel. Like I said, the Patreon is up running. I'm putting content in there. I will be uploading more content. The Discord is already set up for the guys that have already joined the Patreon, or guys that are looking into joining the Patreon. And once we get going in there, we'll start having some private live streams, things like that. So it'll just be something. And the main thing, guys, for my channel is to add value. I always want to make sure that I'm adding value. So whether you're in the Patreon or you're just a subscriber, I really appreciate it. I always appreciate the support. All right, guys. One more thing real quick. Let's see what Ivan has to say. I guess with me bass fishing and always on the move, maybe it will be more beneficial on the trolling motor. Yeah, so I would just say just kind of look into it. I'm pretty sure there's some guys that'll probably have some videos on YouTube that can kind of help you out with that. So just do a little bit more research. I'll probably look into it, see what the price is like. But for me, I got to reinvest some tournament money to keep buying some of this equipment. So unless I'm winning some tournaments or something, I pretty much got to keep putting in work the way that I've been doing. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out if you did not hit it on your way in. Appreciate the support, and I will see you guys on the next one.